are a couple different terms. So usability would refer more towards some of the sort of more measurable aspects of how people use a system or product, right? So I would think more in terms of efficiency, learnability, some of these metrics. Can they actually get what they need to do using the system? Can they get it done? Mm-hmm. User experience is a term that is a little bit more general. So user experience, you hear sometimes referring, it can sometimes encompass usability, but it also can encompass things like emotional response to the product or the enjoyment of using the system. But again, usability is sometimes put into that umbrella. And you'll see if you just go and search and look for what people are looking for jobs, for experience and user experience, usability, people will use terms imprecisely. So sort of I would say usability is part of user experience, but it's not, user experience has its own aspects of it related to it as well.
When you design things, you should design them in such a way that they are compatible with the limitations, capabilities, and needs of their users.
Today, purchasing decisions are made on the basis of how long is it going to take for us to train people to use this thing? Is it compatible with what we already have? Is it usable? Right? So today, companies are having to market their products by services. Profit margins in high-tech industries are so low that the only way you can get a competitive advantage is through usability and user experience. And that makes people who are specialists in doing this kind of work absolutely critical. In my lab, we use 9 different research methodologies. Context analysis, a kind of ethnographic type study. When most people say usability testing, they're talking about think aloud protocol analyses. And that's where you give users a task to perform that they would normally perform with a product in a naturalistic environment. And then you ask them to think out loud and say what they're thinking as they're performing the task. Then you go back and you code for particular kinds of behaviors that you're interested in. You take all the comments that they make and you put them into categories or buckets, identify patterns, and then from that you make recommendations for improving the product.
Most of my graduate students wind up on the West Coast, and they work for software companies such as Oracle, Microsoft, Google, a lot of smaller companies, eBay, not a small company, but PayPal. But I found that a number of my students have found work a bit more recently in the Northeast with financial firms. Vanguard, Fidelity, both have strong usability groups.
Usability folks go into all kinds of different companies. IBM, AT&T, Apple, but we've also had people go to small startups, right? We've had people go to insurance companies like Benefit Focus. We've had people go to Vanguard Corporation, which is a major financial institution, like a $3 billion financial services company. We've had people go into insurance company, the healthcare, usability in healthcare. Oh my gosh, when you talk about simpatico. One of the strengths of Clemson is look outside of the English department and look at programs that don't immediately maybe seem obvious. With the people that actually went into it, I mean, they took courses from Joel Greenstein in industrial engineering. They took a class from Juan Gilbert in human-centered computing, and they took classes, my classes, and then their committee that they put together, the project that they did was a usability testing project. That the people who have used usability, user experience design as their cognate, at least in the last 5 years, have gotten incredibly successful jobs, and I think they're thrilled with where they're at.